Kingdom of the Last Dragons, Volume 2 of the Farloft Chronicles, by Theresa Snyder, read by Mary Sibulsky. Theresa, the Healer. I am the healer in the village of Brown Briar, at the foot of West Ridge, in the shadow of King William's castle. I wrote James and the Dragon after my friend Farloft told me the story upon my return to the kingdom. I am home now to stay, and this is the continuing saga of James, Farloft, and their adventures in the kingdom of the last dragons, as I remember them. James's flying lesson. I heard James shriek as he fell over the edge of the cliff. The shriek turned into a whoop of joy and a babble of laughter when his wings popped open and he started to soar. There is no experience quite as exciting as watching a fledgling dragon learning how to fly. I turned to Farloft and smiled. How is James coming along? Farloft drew his eyes back from James's silhouette in the sky high above. He is doing very well considering his background. He had a late start. The dragon apologized for James. Farloft and I were sitting on his favorite perch, a sunny spot on a slab of rock just above the mouth to his cave. I heard his nails bite into the stone below us and followed his gaze up to James as he tumbled willy-nilly out of the sky, half flying, half falling. "Feel the air," Farloft said softly under his breath as he stared up. "Catch the wind." James continued to first drift, then fall like a giant fat leaf in a stiff breeze. "Pop," Farloft shouted to James. "Here comes the ground," he warned. James struggled to right himself, his wings wrapped around him in a tangled mess. I heard Farloft's nails again, and his own wings started to lift. At that instant, one of James' wings caught the wind. It flipped him right side up, and the other wing came out. He missed a head-on collision with the ground by no less than 25 feet. James gave a cry of glee as he skimmed across the valley floor, brushing his iridescent green belly on the tops of the tall grass. Farloft released his tension on the rock ledge and settled back into a sitting position, his wings falling gently back into place at his sides. James made a long gradual turn and headed back across the valley toward the cliff face, gaining a bit of altitude as he approached us. I certainly wasn't going to be the one to tell Farloft, a dragon of over 1,000 years old, how to teach another to fly, but James's approach looked somewhat like a battering ram on its way to impact. "Is he going to make it?" I asked. "Nope," Farloft stated flatly. "He has totally forgotten the warning I gave him about downdrafts." I heard a growl from down below and leaned over the ledge just in time to see James hit the cliff wall head first and fall about 50 feet to the ground. Farloft didn't even move this time. He just shook his head in disappointment. I guess he didn't think a fall from that height would do much damage to the young dragon. "Farloft," James called from below. "I forgot the downdraft," he apologized. Farloft didn't repeat the obvious. He just sat there. "Farloft," James called again. "I don't think I can." Farloft grinned and looked at me. "He's only done launches from the cliff. No ground recovery." "Oh my," I said. "This was going to be interesting. A young dragon weighs a lot. More than your farm wagon fully loaded, and its team of oxen and horses combined. It takes experience to get that kind of bulk up in the air from a flat surface."